Time to shoot the rock. This is the Rockcastle Gun Show on ESPN 102.7 FM, AM 1450, AM 1230, and streaming live on ESPNKY.com. Your weekly double-barrel dose of the biggest names, best products, and most intriguing topics in the world of firearms. Brought to you by Hilux Optics, Swagger by Pods, Shoot with Confidence, J&K Used Cars on the Bypass, and Mohawk Outdoors. In pursuit of liberty, justice, and all things guns. Here are your hosts, Nick and Nate Noble.
Hey, welcome back to the Rockcastle Gun Show, Wednesday nights from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, live on your airwaves. You can listen live on 102.7 or on ESPN 1230 a.m. Glasgow. We're also up in that E-Town, Fort Knox area, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on 106.1 up there on ESPN. And hey, welcome to all those Fort Knox people. We're starting to see a bunch of people come into Rockcastle Shooting Center from the Fort Knox area, so thank you for listening to the airways, even though you have to listen to it delayed. Of course, you can check us out, stream live on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio 1027.com.
ESPN Radio 1027.com. And don't forget the podcast. Anywhere you get your podcast, you can check out the Rockcastle Gun Show on ESPN Radio. Download and subscribe and share with your friends and listen to it while you're mowing the grass, driving down the road, or doing whatever you're doing. So, hey, we're just another great show this week. We're going to talk. Last week we had a really good show, and this week we're going to kind of carry on some of it. We're going to talk to a major gun manufacturer, talking about some new rifles coming out. We're going to talk to Samson, who does a lot of the parts and pieces for AR rifles, and then we're going to get into the Hunter Games, which is one of the really cool hunting-based shooting competition. And I don't know of many
really
out there.
the only one in existence, to our knowledge. I mean, there may be others, but Recoil Magazine, they have a magazine called Carnivore, and it's the Recoil Carnivore Hunter Games, and we're going to talk about that quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, and that'll be really fun because that's coming up in September 21, 22, and we'll get into that. So, but hey, a lot of things going on. We're prepping for the Rockcastle Pro-Am 3-Gun Championships, the largest 3-gun competition in the world, getting ready to happen here in about 3 weeks. Now that we're entering August tomorrow, we start the 17th there. We got a huge lineup of folks. It's sold out. All the gun companies are going to come up there. The sponsors of the match, they're going to have booze and tents and all kinds of things, and we're going to have a fireworks display and
booze and booze.
And booze, yeah. So booze and booze, yeah. All that stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And
Fireworks.
We're getting ready for that. Had a big USPSA pistol match last weekend. Had great weather for that. A little hot, but we got
turnout.
Great turnout. So, but anyway, let's jump into the show.
Tonight we're going all around the country, but we're going to start with one of the coolest companies out there in the world of firearms right now with Daniel Defense. And I believe we have one of the design engineers from Daniel Defense, Mr. Julian Springer, on the line with us. We're going to talk about some new products that we saw some articles about on the Tactical Wire recently. Julian, what's up?
How's it going, guys?
Man, we're doing good. How you doing?
Doing well. Staying busy.
Yeah, staying busy looks like it. So Nick and I were talking about earlier this morning the article that came out on the Tactical Wire about the DD5. So I want to jump into that because you guys have made some changes to that thing and got it going on. So tell everybody what the DD5 is.
All right, the DD5 is our large frame or large caliber weapon, and now we're offering it in 6.5 Creedmoor and 260 Remington, in addition to what we offered in 308.
And this is an AR platform?
Yes, it's AR-10 platform.
Yeah.
If you want to.
And so how long ago you guys came out with that rifle? It's been a few years now.
4 years?
Yeah, 4 years, and it's been a great platform. First of all, Daniel Defense makes beautiful rifles. I mean, the color codings you guys use, the parts, just the whole makeup, the furniture of the rifles. They're one of the prettiest. They've always been one of the prettiest rifles on the market, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. You guys do a really good job with that, and the AR-10 platform has been growing. I'll tell you, everybody at Rockcastle's joining the Rockcastle Shooting Center for long range, really. I mean, that's our main thing going on right now for new members. And we're getting them from all over the country. So the reason, everybody started with the AR-10 platform in the 308s, which is where you guys have been for 4 years. And then we see everybody moving into these other calibers and different barrel lengths and stuff like that. Let's talk about those a little bit and why you guys are doing that.
So the reason we chose going with the new calibers, we got asked about them a ton, and so we decided to do a DMR style rifle, and we chose the 20-inch as sort of an ideal for the AR-10 in 6.5. And so for that rifle, we do the V5, which is our 20-inch rifle with a +1 gas system to help smooth out that pressure. And we offer that in 6.5 and 260. And then for people that want to run suppressors and have a just shorter weapon, we offer the V4 now, which is all three calibers, 308, 6.5, and 260. And then the V3 is now our 16-inch gun with an intermediate gas system, and that's just in 308.
Yeah, and so the 260 caliber and the 6.5 are obviously huge PRS rounds, but they're also great hunting rounds. And have you guys been trying to kind of capture both sides of that game, the hunting and the PRS kind of precision rifle shooting stuff?
Yeah, because some people have reload so much that they have so much 308 brass, they can use that on 260. And really, we've gotten requests on both sides, which was the main reason we did that, because they are super similar rounds.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and you guys have done really great with it. So, you guys at SHOT Show released another rifle. I'm also told you that you worked on that. You released the Delta 5. So anybody that went to SHOT Show, anybody that's been to the National Rifle Association annual meetings and exhibits, we see the Delta 5. Let's talk about that one for a second.
Yeah, so that was our first foray into bolt guns, and it's gone very well. That gun is incredibly accurate, and it comes with we designed everything on that rifle in-house and made everything we could in-house on it, and it has gone over very well with shooters from PRS to the weekend accuracy shooters.
And what calibers is the Delta 5 in that bolt gun?
The bolt gun currently is 6.5 and 308.
Nice.
And we are rapidly looking at adding more, obviously.
Yeah, those, especially in the PRS game, man, they're changing like the wind. Those calibers that those guys like. It's got to be hard from a design and engineering standpoint to kind of keep up. I mean, if it's not the PRS shooters like George Gardner or somebody coming out with a 6.5 whatever or a 300 PRC, it's somebody coming out with something else, or the ammo companies are doing it to you guys. I mean, like Federal comes out a couple years ago with the 224 Valkyrie, and they came out with the round, and then they're like, okay, everybody build this rifle. So how does that challenge you guys, the changing winds of the shooting game?
I think it's very good for the industry, but definitely for us hammer forging all our barrels, it proves difficult as far as lead times on making all that happen quickly. But I find it very exciting that we're looking at 6.5 was so hot, and now 6mm Creedmoor is looking pretty good in a lot of circles. So it's exciting, but yeah, definitely sometimes.
Hey, Julian, just for some of our listeners that may not be well versed in how a rifle is actually manufactured, the process, research and development. When you say hammer forged, what exactly does that mean versus some of the other processes in the industry that are being used?
Okay, so hammer forging, the way we do it is we use a very big, essentially hammer, and it's got 4 hammers that rotate the barrel as it's hitting on it, and it hits this over a mandrel, which is made out of a very, very hard material, and it basically forms the steel to the mandrel, which looks like the reverse of rifling. And so we hammer forge our rifling and our chambers so it's perfectly aligned. And this is basically moving material with a very, very large machine that puts out a lot of force, whereas most barrels are cut, whether it's button rifling, which is usually a single point, and it's put down the barrel and actually cuts the threads, and ours are formed.
That's very cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, and so generally speaking, hammer forged barrels, they on accuracy versus the others. What's your opinion on that?
You can get really accurate of either kind. I mean, definitely with some of the precision barrels, they spend so much time on them that they're going to be able to command a more expensive price and even better accuracy, but we can get very accurate barrels out of the hammer forging process.
That's very cool. So you're up to speed on where everybody can find info about Daniel Defense. Obviously, it's probably DanielDefense.com. Tell us, you guys are on social media and everything else?
Yes. Yeah, we're on social. We're on Instagram. We have a lot of YouTube videos coming out, and, of course, our DanielDefense.com.
Right on, man. Julian, thanks for coming on the radio show and talking to us a little bit. I've seen all of these guns in person, and one thing I forgot to ask on the Delta 5 bolt gun. So PRS guns are a little heavier. Your gun is kind of fitting that niche. Do you know the weight of the DD5 or the Delta 5?
I think it's around 9 pounds.
Yeah.
Without glass.
Yeah, that seems right.
I'm not super sure on that one.
Yeah, but it's definitely something everybody should go check out because, like I said before, when you guys started making the AR platforms, you always had the design and the look and the furniture and everything that made these rifles. They're beautiful rifles, and the Delta 5 is not separated from that comment either. It's a beautiful rifle, very nice to hold, and I hope to get out and shoot one of these days. We need to have you guys up to the Rockcastle Shooting Center pretty soon. You need to get out and stretch legs on those guns at the Rock sometime.
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, man. We'll let you go. We're going to go pay some sponsors, and we hope to have you guys back on the radio. Thanks for coming on. You're listening to the Rockcastle Gun Show on ESPN Radio 102.7.
Although hunting to most of us is much more than just harvesting animals, why not better your deer herd's health with Big & J Long Range Attractant? Big & J is highly digestible, high in protein, and isn't full of preservatives. With Big & J Long Range Attractants, you're not only exploiting one of the few weaknesses whitetails have, their stomachs, but you're maximizing antler growth, improving overall herd health, and pulling deer from your neighbor's property. So whether your goals are to fill the freezer, kill mature bucks, or both, Big & J Long Range Attractants will stack the odds in your favor, all the while making your deer herd bigger and healthier.
J&K Used Cars is the place to go when you need a quality automobile at an affordable price. Stop in at 670 on the Bypass in Bowling Green and see this week's special. A 2011 Toyota Tacoma pickup. Crew Cab 4x4 comes with V6 engine, good miles, sport wheels, camper shell, power options, and more for only $21,995. Hurry in because at that price it won't last long. J&K Used Cars with over 40 years of serving the community with affordable prices on quality automobiles. Visit J&K on the Bypass and online at jnkusedcars.com.
This is Nate from Rockcastle Shooting Center. Did you know that one of the premier shooting ranges in the world is right here in South Central Kentucky? Rockcastle Shooting Center has something for everyone's recreational shooting enjoyment. From 3D archery to our brand new sporting clays course, handgun ranges full of steel to targets out to a mile. There's no better place to get some trigger time than Rockcastle Shooting Center. Non-members are welcome, and memberships start at $150 per year. We offer a fantastic range of firearms training and education opportunities from the most basic to the most advanced. Come see us, exit 48 on I-65, Park City, Kentucky. Visit rockcastleshootingcenter.com.
It's a nice stroll into the Rockcastle Gun Show because we're going, I believe this guy's in Texas right now. Are you in Texas?
Dave Bigger.
I'm in New Hampshire.
Oh, you're
in
in Hampshire.
I wish I was still in Texas.
Well, you fooled me with that 817 area code number, man.
I know.
You wish you were still in Texas, which we all do if we've been there once. So Dave Bigger's on the line with us right now. He's one of the hot shots up at Samson Manufacturing, and good friends of Rockcastle Shooting Center would be an understatement. The Samsons, the family, and the shooting team members are also Rockcastle Shooting Center members of our shooting team, the Brian and Brian's. And and everybody that's worked there have become friends of ours over the years, and you were a friend of ours before you went there, so now you're like double friends, and you're coming to see us for the Pro-Am pretty quick, man. What's up?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't get to come down there often enough, and any excuse to get down there is a good excuse.
Well, this one's going to be a hot shot Pro-Am. I mean, Dave Power at the helm of stage design, and even today, there were some changes made to the stages because a dude shot at Bigfoot on Mammoth Cave National Park, which is our northern border.
2 nights ago.
Two nights ago, bro. So
a Bigfoot.
Yeah, Sasquatch.
It was
been seen less than 5 miles from the rock.
Shots fired, bro.
So what you're saying is a 223 is not enough for this year's Pro-Am. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, just the stage briefing is going to explain a lot. If you see that son of a bitch, you need to kill him. Yeah. The match is going to be a blast. We're going to have a fireworks display for the first time at Rockcastle
awesome.
Shooting Center. It's going to be fun. And then we got all kinds of side matches. We've got demo bays. We've got a beautiful match coming together that Dave's putting together. And you guys are huge sponsors and supporters. Probably Samson Manufacturing, if I could pick one company out of all of them that are involved in the shooting sports. You guys are relentless at supporting the sports in which your products are used, and we thank you for that.
Oh, well, you're more than welcome. I'm very flattered by that. I'm not quite sure if it's quite that deserved, but hey, you know what? We try, and we do appreciate our customer base, and we appreciate the people that support the three-gun shooting sports. Yeah. So there's a lot of like-minded folks out there. That literally is the best part about being in the industry and being a competitive shooter is the people that are out there are what makes everything go. There's a commonality. It's a good group. It's a good group to hang around, and we're proud to be part of it.
It's a crazy time to be in the firearms industry, as you know, and the firearms industry is very cyclical, and there's a lot of things that help drive that. But the state of the industry and where things are. I mean, what's your take, Samson and Dave's take on where we are right now and what part of the cycle we're in?
Well, I really think we're at the bottom of it, but I'm already starting to see it turn a little bit. And there's always a slight difference between the accessory side and the gun side, but I can tell you right now, if you have thought about buying an AR and you're waiting, then you're just flat stupid because the prices and the availability of options that you have right now, they've never been this low. They're not going to be this low again. I mean, we'll hit another low point, but it's not going to be this low. And the moment people start talking about new laws and new gun control, and we're literally an incident away from that happening, and then those prices are going to go up. Because I've been through this several different times now, watching it hit the low and watching it come back up. And, it's buy low and sell high. Well, there's a whole lot of people that prefer to do it the other way. They'll wait until it's absolutely the top and go, maybe I should have an AR. And right now you can get a good quality brand name AR from anywhere from $500 to $1,000. Easy. A good piece of machinery. And that's not always going to be the case. So, buy now, buy often.
Yeah,
buy American.
Yeah, buy American. You guys are in the metal parts business, so let's start with that. It used to be, I guess you guys probably started with the hang guards. Everybody knows the hang guard line, and you keep innovating the hang guard line, and so much innovation that I've actually put the new one on my rifle every time they come out, and it's been a lot.
Excellent.
Because you guys do a really good job, and then you've innovated into other things. I mean, you guys make sight systems, you make rail accessories, you make, you guys came in with pistol parts, optics mounts.
Yeah.
Kind of talk through some of what you guys are doing right now.
Well, in fact, we shot some videos today that we're going to start kicking out. Pardon me. Our pistol product, our pistol line has been very, very successful. They're literally, we have 4 products. 3 of them are top 10 sellers for us, which for a company that never worked on the pistol side, I think that's pretty crazy, and that's pretty telling. The other thing is we do AR stuff, of course. We also do AK stuff, which a lot of people don't know. We do handguards and some accessories for the SIG, for H&Ks. You know, there's several different things that are already floating around out there, and there's some more coming. So
yeah, and
it's an exciting time to be here.
And you guys are huge on the OEM side, too. I mean, a lot of the listeners out there that are running AR rifles that they purchased at some retail store somewhere, probably there's a good chance you got Samson parts on there somewhere, because you guys do a lot of that, too, right?
We do a lot that doesn't have our name on it. We
Yeah.
also have quite a few products that do have our name on it. Like right now, the SIG M400 series, if you look at a lot of those handguards, they say Samson Manufacturing on the side. We just recently started doing some stuff with Bushmaster. Those are also marked Samson. And you're right, there's a whole lot of other companies out there that the chances are really, really good that if you shot some type of AR platform rifle over the course of the last decade, there's a really good chance that you've used parts made by Samson, whether they were marked by Samson or not. But, yeah, there's a lot of stuff floating around out there, and that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to be a part of that and go, hey, you guys ever tried that? And they're like, and you go, yeah, you see that? That's already on your gun.
Yeah, and
that's kind of cool.
So let's talk about the pistol parts a little bit. You said 3 of the 4 products were top 10 products for Samson, and you guys started originally, I guess we got Magwell and a comp, and what are the other? I'm going dead blank here.
No, that's all right. We do some stuff specifically for the M&P Shield,
right? And
we kind of came at that from a different little bit of an angle. Most of the time, for example, the Magwell. 99% of the time, a Magwell it's normally about speed, getting the magazine in there, and they're typically come from the competition side, where seconds matter. Well, the one that we actually do for the Shield really didn't start from that. It came from, we got several guys at the company who carry shields, and they all have big manly hands, and trying to drop the magazine, the mag would hang on your hand, and trying to reinsert one, you pinch the ever-loving crap out of yourself. You try to do it. And so the Magwell literally came about as being able just to drop the magazines and be able to insert a magazine without pinching. The magazine extensions weren't really about as much as adding magazine capacity as they were. They actually have contours on them, and the idea of that was, because there were 2 of us that were full-time professional trainers for a number of years, so that's really more of our background. And so the reason the cutouts are on there and the reason we did that extension was so that you could do one-hand malfunction clearances easier. And so the comp did a couple of things. Not only does it, reduce felt recoil somewhat, it primarily aids with muzzle flip. The other thing is, if you're carrying inside the waistband, particularly like appendix, having that little bit more of extension on the muzzle end, because that's normally the part that's hard to hide is not the length of the slide or the barrel. It's normally the grip. Well, having that extend just a little bit farther down made it easier to retain the gun without the butt trying to poke out. So it's a little bit of different take on when most products like that come out. They're normally from another side, and those were literally all based on the self-defense side.
Well, it's actually a pretty cool thing, too, just that statement alone, because the competition side, you're trying to shoot fast and do things better, and you got to approach the protect yourself side the same way, and probably there's not a lot of companies that think like that. I mean, that's pretty good innovation and reasoning behind making all those things, because it's helping you with one of the most popular concealed carry guns out there, the Shield. I mean, that's a good place to start as well.
Oh, yeah. No, that's done really, really well for us. And there's some other stuff coming relatively soon.
We figured
I think that you'll see.
We figured
we're gonna branch out in a few more handguns. But once again, we don't just want to do what everybody else is doing. There's got to be a reason behind it. And if we can't really be innovative, we're not that interested. So
Dave,
that's kind of where we're coming from.
Absolutely, and you guys are doing great things. And how cool is it to have owners like Scott and Kathy Sampson that really they're there. They're giving you guys. It seems like they're putting a great team together. They put a great team together. You guys are continuing to do innovation, bring out new products, but having owners like that and really. And they come out to the shoots and they shoot in some of our competitions and they just get involved and you just don't see that from the big brass out there, and we consider them dear friends of ours, and having owners like that are driving the company, putting teams together, has got to be a lot of fun.
Well, I have just for example, I have way more just ARs, for example, than I probably should have. No. And I've been doing this for quite a while. I have quite a few cool toys. Scott has more cool toys than I do.
Yeah, he does. I like you guys just built them a water wheel for their. I think they just put a really cool car garage barn party house, and it's got a big water wheel. I think you guys created that there, right, in the factory.
Yeah, we actually did the water wheel. Right now, he's trying to decide if, and I have a feeling we probably will. We also. I don't know if you guys know it or not, but probably the back third of our building is actually a refinishing plant. Okay. Our sister company is back there, so they do anodizing and they also do Cerakote. They do some other things, and right now he's trying to decide if he wants to have those Cerakoted or who knows. We may wind up doing powder coating so we can get the water wheel done. But,
that's cool.
That's cool. And for a guy like you that says I probably have too many ARs and an owner like Scott that says you need to step up your game, that's pretty cool too.
Well, that's a really nice thing because I can go in the back. The other company is S&F Finishing. That's the other part of our deal. And I have been known to go in the back and go, so what color of Cerakote do you have that are just, kind of hanging out? You got anything that's getting old?
That's awesome.
I have some black ARs that have to change.
Now you haven't mentioned the Mini 14 A-Team stock, have you? Have we talked?
No.
So I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. That's some kind of crazy talk.
Oh, there's nothing
there. We did kind of a real soft just see this at NRA, and for the most part, what we were doing, we're working on two products at the same time. One is going to be a recreation of the Mini 14 A-Stock that if you ever saw the TV show, the Mini 14s that never actually killed anybody, but they were really cool. I don't think they ever hit anybody with those, but they were extremely cool. So we're kind of following two different paths down there. Scott had an idea. We're attempting to do one, which you take your standard Woodstock Mini 14, you cut it off, there's an adapter plate, and then we can actually put on a spot-on recreation of the original Mini 14 stock. So that's one part. So if you've already got one, that's one way to do it. And then the other way is we actually are doing a full-on recreation of the original. And when I say full-on, if you look at the mold marks, they're probably going to be in exactly the same place. The biggest thing that we're having issues right now, and I think we finally have those ironed out, was the plastic grip on the original ones. I'm almost certain it was Bakelite. So we can't really do the Bakelite, but working with some other people, we think we've come up with something that is literally going to be spot on, and you're not going to be able to tell the difference. So I'm really excited about that. That's something I've had a couple of Mini 14s, haven't been a huge fan. I will have a freaking Mini 14 if I can put an 18 stock on it.
Sweet.
Well, the cool thing about everything you're talking about is if you check out Rockcastle Shooting Center, the Pro-Am 3-Gun Championships coming up 17, 18, 19 of August. You're going to be able to meet Dave Biggers, some of the other team members up there. I think you just snuck in and got a room at the lodge too. I don't know how that happened, but
I don't either. But it must have been living right or something.
We give very strict orders.
I know it didn't have anything to do with you guys because I kept asking. You're like, really? We have important people saying it's a lodge, but I think somebody signed me up under an assumed name or something.
I think that must have been how it snuck through, but. We really appreciate you coming on the show tonight. And like I said, all you folks listening out there, if you want to find out more about Samson Manufacturing.
Made in America.
Made in America. Come check out.
Yeah.
And you can buy stuff right there. You can dress up these firearms that you have, ARs and pistols and everything else. And Samson will be right there with the booth and best time to come late in the day and watch some of the shooting, and then get to socialize with everybody in the evenings with all of our sponsors, including Samson, right there on site. So.
Yeah, we're going to have a little 10x10 pop-up somewhere with a generator blowing a big fan and an ice chest, which will have some type of cool beverages inside. So
sure.
Definitely stop by and say hi.
All right, and how do our folks find out more about you? SamsonManufacturing.com?
Samson-MFG.com. We're doing more and more specials, so it really would be a good idea to sign up on the email list, because that's typically the first people that see if we have some type of sale going on or a special. Like right now, we have something that we only have 25 of that we've never offered before. And normally the first people who are going to find out about that are going to be on the email list.
All right.
So, but yeah, stop by, check it out. We have some cool stuff.
All right, Dave Biggers with Samson Manufacturing. Thank you very much. We'll see you at Rockcastle Shooting Center here in just a couple weeks, man.
Hey, my pleasure. I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys.
All right, brother. You take care. God bless you. You're listening to the Rockcastle Gun Show on ESPN Radio 102.7, and we'll be right back after these messages.
This is a Morgan & Morgan consumer message.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Sadly, we see lawyers bragging about a settlement that should have gone to trial and would have if we'd been the lawyers. A case settled for $100,000 may well have been worth $1 million at trial. To get a fair settlement, it helps if your firm has a reputation for going to trial and getting justice. Go to forthepeople.com and look at our recent verdicts in court. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. Offices Bowling Green.
You're doing your best to build and grow your business, trying to reach as many prospective customers as possible and get them in your door. Lucky for you, I specialize in helping you do exactly that. I'm Sherry Clark, and for over 25 years, my focus has been helping businesses grow. I leverage the power and reach of radio, the deep connectivity of social media, and the on-demand convenience of online marketing to put you and your business in front of as many people as possible. How do you know my marketing advice works? Just talk to other business owners and managers in Southern Kentucky. For years, I've helped businesses like Studel Financial Services, Super Home Surplus, and United Furniture maximize their marketing dollars. And for as long as I've been helping businesses in Bowling Green, Kentucky Music has trusted me to guide their over-the-air marketing efforts. As your marketing consultant, my focus is on results for you. My advice is based on what's best for your business, not on a monthly quota. Your potential customers have a problem that you can help them solve, but they need to know your name, they need to know your story, and I'm here to help you tell it. I'm Sherry Clark, and I'd love to hear from you at sherryradiosales@gmail.com. Let's get together and tell your story.
Hey, it's Nick Noble with the Rockcastle Gun Show here. We're talking about Swagger bipods. Do you want just your average barrel rest, or do you want to shoot with some swagger? Introducing the Swagger bipods. They expand your shooting zone with Swagger, the all-terrain hunting bipod. After more than 100 years, finally shooters have a bipod with patented, flexible, hyper-extending telescoping legs that give you the agility like never before. So get rid of stiff legs and get the bipod with infinite maneuverability. Swagger, the bipod that moves.
J&K Used Cars is the place to go when you need a quality automobile at an affordable price. Stop in at 670 on the Bypass in Bowling Green and see this week's special. A 2011 Toyota Tacoma pickup. Crew Cab 4x4 comes with V6 engine, good miles, sport wheels, camper shell, power options, and more for only $21,995. Hurry in, because at that price it won't last long. J&K Used Cars, with over 40 years of serving the community with affordable prices on quality automobiles. Visit J&K on the Bypass and online at jnkusedcars.com.
Hey everybody, this is Mark Wills, and we are talking guns right here on ESPN Radio with the Rockcastle Gun Show.
Yeah, and we've been rocking it out here in the studios in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Just miles down the road from the Rockcastle Shooting Center at exit 48 on I-65 in central Kentucky, Park City. About an hour from Louisville, hour from Nashville, a little over. You can come in and shoot any day, $10 an hour. Walk in off the street and do it. And we also offer memberships starting about $150. So you're listening to Rockcastle Gun Show right now, and we've been all around the country so far. I think we've been in Florida and New Hampshire, and now we're going down probably maybe who knows where you are, Andy Horner. But we're going to talk with Andy Horner, the match director for the Recoil Carnivore Hunter Games. The Carnivore Hunter Games presented by Recoil Magazine. And Andy, what's up, man?
Oh, we're still planning and getting ready for the 100 Games. We're having more and more information coming in about sponsors and people providing prize table items. So things are progressing.
Are you in Virginia right now?
Yep, in Virginia.
Yeah, because Dave Power was talking to you yesterday, and he said you and he were having a conversation while you were doing a tracheotomy on a dog, or something like that. And I was like, "Do what?"
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, actually. I mean, I remember when we went to Colorado and you were fixing the horse's eye, and my buddy Steve looked back at me and he's like, "That's pretty cool. Is this guy? Is he a doctor or something?" And I was like, "No, but he did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night."
That's right. Good old Holiday Inn Express.
So the Carnivore Hunter Games, man. They're, to me, I don't know. I mean, you know the folks that are putting this on well, and there's not a lot of tests for your hunting skills. So if you're in the listening audience, you need to listen up to what's about to go down here. The Carnivore Hunter Games. We have a rifle component, which you are in charge of, Holy. We have a archery component and sporting clays, and you can do all three. But let's talk about rifle and what we're in for here. Tell everybody what the Carnivore Rifle Challenge is.
Well, what we're doing is simulating hunting conditions from hopefully around the country. We're going to have some high-angle shots, some prone shooting, some shooting out of blinds, shooting where you can rest on the tree or stand there and shoot. But we're going to be presenting all kinds of different presentations that you can figure out the best way for you to get a good shot on that animal. And ranges are going to go from around 100 yards to 250 yards for the hunter class. If you don't feel comfortable shooting out to 600 or 800 yards, that would be the class for you to be in. If you want to shoot out to around 800 yards, join the carnivore class. You shoot twice as many targets and have more fun by shooting more.
Absolutely. And when we say, realistic hunting scenarios and shooting at, to hone your skills to shoot animals, we're actually going to be shooting at animals. Now, they're not going to be live animals, but the targets are going to be
PETA-friendly.
They're PETA-friendly animals. I mean, but Reinhardt makes an incredible 3D archery target, and we're actually going to be using those targets and modifying them to actually become rifle targets for this match. And we'll use the same thing in the archery as well. They won't be modified for that, but it's going to be interesting to see when, everything from antelope and bear and deer and all kinds of things, that's going to be the target. So I know that there are some folks that shoot long range of buffaloes and different things like that in shooting competitions, but they're typically steel silhouettes or something like that. We're actually going to bring a three-dimensional target.
We're bringing the herd, man. We're bringing the herd.
Yeah, bringing the herd.
And
the nice thing is you can't just tag one of these things on the tail at the rear end. You've got to actually hit the kill zone for the shot to count.
Yeah, you can't shoot him in the leg.
Ethical hunting and good shots and getting them placed in the right area.
And the original thoughts behind the Carnivore Hunter Games, guys, it was going to be kind of like a pro-am, where you have a pro class and an amateur class, and that's why we came up with the hunter class and the carnivore class, because there's a lot of hunters out there, but the guys that go out and really want to hone their skills and they eat red meat on a regular basis, these are carnivores, and they're going to have a little more skill, hence the distances and the more targets and stuff like that. So that's where the two classes came from. The hunter class is going to be, you don't have to hump your stuff up on a backpack, but are you going to have to wear a backpack on carnivore? You're going to have to, what kind of gear do you have to be carnivore?
Well, all you have to have is a rifle and willingness to walk from stage to stage. But you can also carry one shooting bag and either a tripod or bipod. It's all in the rules that are online, and you can find them through the websites and through the registration page. So it's all there that spells it out. But it's not so much an equipment race. We're trying to keep it to a practical hunting situation.
Yeah, so on the recommendation, what kind of guns should they bring? I mean,
This is not like a PRS shoot, although some guys are going to bring some PRS type rifles. But what do you what's your recommendation?
No, I would recommend something at least in the 30 caliber, 308 and above. However, well, not necessarily 30 caliber, 6.5, 6 millimeter, 7 millimeter. Those are all fine. Now, in the hunter class, we are allowing 223s. A lot of places you can shoot deer with 223, and certainly smaller game. Coyotes, badgers, pigs, that type stuff. So in the hunter class, you can shoot 223 and up, and the carnivore class is 6.5 and above.
So this match is really for any hunter out there. I mean, if you want to test your skills and improve your skills, it's not all about beating the other guy. It doesn't have to be about that. There's going to be some prizes involved with the match, but the cool thing is you're going to get out to come out and see, Carnivore Magazine's got big plans for other stuff that's going to be around and some of the sponsors that are going to be there, and great place to test your skills on the rifle.
It is, and we're going to have one thing that's just become mostly finalized last week was we're going to have a running bore on one stage. Now, that will be a paper target because can't be shooting steel at the distance we'd be shooting it. But we're going to have a running bore on one of the rifle stages, and that will kind of be an extra, for lack of a better term, bonus-type target. But,
yeah.
That's going to be a new addition. Really excited about having the folks from Blaser bring that.
That's cool. Yeah, very cool.
That's going to be really cool. Now, if you're just joining us, we're talking to Andy Horner. He's the match director for the Carnivore Hunter Games, and the match is actually, you can shoot it any one of 3 days. It's September 20th, the 22nd, 20, 21, 22 September. And there's going to be actually 3 competitions. We spent a little bit of time talking about the rifle competition. But you know what? A lot of people are interested in just archery or even in wing shooting, and we're going to have both of those too, Nate, right?
Yeah, and Dave Power that manages Cave Mountain Clays up there. He's going to set all the machines for very realistic hunting situations, whether they're springing teal or wood ducks coming in the timber or quail flushing out of the meadow. I mean, that's what the targets are going to be, and rabbits running across the ground, stuff like that. So the sporting clay is going to be awesome, and we're keeping the realistic, very scenario-based hunting. There's some extreme archery challenges out there and stuff that are awesome, and they're a little more true to life. The ASA shooters and the IBO shooters, they shoot from stakes at known distance and unknown distance sometimes, but we're not going to do that. We're not shooting on flat ground from known distance. You're going to get about 45 seconds to range targets before the clock starts, and then you're going to shoot on the clock on archery for speed and accuracy at multiple targets per stage. So you're going to be shooting from blinds, from tree stands, whether they're you're going to shoot from a boat, and you're going to have to shoot like caribou and a grizzly bear on the bank. It's going to be really cool. So all around, you can take part in all three. And we've been talking about the ultimate carnivore. We got to do something for somebody that shoots all three and has the highest overall score in all three. The ultimate carnivore would be kind of a cool challenge.
Very excited to have all that come together too. We've got several people interested and already signed up to try to become the ultimate carnivore. So
yeah,
hopefully we'll get some more folks there to provide some more competition for them.
I know there's a lot of people down here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, even where we're close to, that the guys in the studio before us, I know they're all going to be shooting the carnivore games in some aspect, and I know they're not registered yet. So we need to start getting on. You can register for all these matches at practicescore.com. And if you go to PracticeScore, it's PrActiscore, practicescore.com. And in the little search block, if you put carnivore, all of the registrations for all these come up, and it's self-explanatory from that point. Any other tips on registering, Andy?
That's the main thing. Go to practicescore.com and search for carnivore. All the matches will come up. if you have any questions, you can email. Well, my email is attached to the website there, or to the registration pages. Just shoot me an email, and I will get the answer to you if anybody has questions.
Yeah, and also you can go to recoil.com and recoilweb.com and Carnivore and go and find a whole bunch of information. They're starting to just trickle out a whole bunch of information and videos and all kinds of cool stuff on this. So it's going to be a great opportunity for all you hunters out there, especially the folks who listen to the show before ours, Southern's Kentucky Great Outdoors, all you hunters out there. Get involved in the Carnivore Hunter Games at Rockcastle Shooting Center, September 20, 21, 22. It's a one-day match. If you want it to be, you can shoot rifle, shotgun, or archery, or you can spread that out over a couple days. There's going to be great socialization, just like any match at Rockcastle in the evenings. A lot of great folks, a lot of great shooters. Some of the top shooters in the country will be there. That's going to be great.
Guys, it's a great time of fall, to have this event, because your archery shooters that are going to start here in Kentucky on September 1st and other states around that time to go out and try to kill a deer in the velvet, they're going to either have killed their deer or need the practice. So it's a great time to come in, because right after this match is when the rut heats up and things get going. If you're a rifle guy, those seasons are later in the year, and you're going to need the practice. So come on in and shoot the Carnivore Hunter Games. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I hope folks will kind of forget about the whole competition part of it,
right?
And just come in and enjoy the event, enjoy being in the situations, and enjoy getting the opportunity to shoot in these different scenarios, different positions, different target presentations that they're probably not used to all the time. So, the competition's sort of secondary to the experience. So come on out and enjoy it and have a good time.
Yep. And then I was going to say, too, that you're probably going to end up in a magazine. So if you want your picture taken, you got to come out and shoot the Carnivore Hunter Games.
That's right.
That's right. All right, Andy, thanks for coming on, man. We look forward to having you at the Rock real soon. We got all kinds of stuff going on with you. You're also the match director for the Blue Ridge Mountain 3-Gun Championship. If you want to shoot Blue Ridge, you need to go check out Andy's links for that. Where do they go to sign up for Blue Ridge Mountain 3-Gun?
That's practicescore.com.
Practicescore.com.
Blue Ridge Mountain.
That's where it all is. Andy, thanks for coming on, man. We look forward to seeing you soon, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Right.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to Rockcastle Gun Show on ESPN Radio 1027.com, and we'll be right back.
This is Nate from Rockcastle Shooting Center. Did you know that one of the premier shooting ranges in the world is right here in South Central Kentucky? Rockcastle Shooting Center has something for everyone's recreational shooting enjoyment. From 3D archery to our brand new sporting clays course, handgun ranges full of steel to targets out to a mile. There's no better place to get some trigger time than Rockcastle Shooting Center. Non-members are welcome, and memberships start at $150 per year. We offer a fantastic range of firearms training and education opportunities from the most basic to the most advanced. Come see us, exit 48 on I-65, Park City, Kentucky. Visit rockcastleshootingcenter.com.
J&K Used Cars is the place to go when you need a quality automobile at an affordable price. Stop in at 670 on the bypass in Bowling Green and see this week's special. A 2011 Toyota Tacoma pickup. Crew Cab 4x4 comes with V6 engine, good miles, sport wheels, camper shell, power options, and more for only $21,995. Hurry in, because at that price it won't last long. J&K Used Cars, with over 40 years of serving the community with affordable prices on quality automobiles. Visit J&K on the bypass and online at jnkusedcars.com.
Hey, it's Nick Noble with the Rockcastle Gun Show here. We're talking about Swagger bipods. Do you want just your average barrel rest, or do you want to shoot with some swagger? Introducing the Swagger bipods. They expand your shooting zone with Swagger, the all-terrain hunting bipod. After more than 100 years, finally shooters have a bipod with patented, flexible, hyper-extending telescoping legs that give you the agility like never before. So get rid of stiff legs and get the bipod with infinite maneuverability. Swagger, the bipod that moves.
Although hunting to most of us is much more than just harvesting animals, why not better your deer herd's health with Big & J long-range attractant? Big & J is highly digestible, high in protein, and isn't full of preservatives. With Big & J long-range attractants, you're not only exploiting one of the few weaknesses whitetails have, their stomachs, but you're maximizing antler growth, improving overall herd health, and pulling deer from your neighbor's property. So whether your goals are to fill the freezer, kill mature bucks, or both, Big & J long-range attractants will stack the odds in your favor, all the while making your deer herd bigger and healthier.
Hey, this is Tommy Thacker, and you're listening to the Rockcastle Gun Show on ESPN.
Hey, it's Nick and Nate Noble, the hosts of ESPN Radio 102.7, the Rockcastle Gun Show, the only gun show on ESPN Radio, with our producer Garrett Browning in here in the ESPN studios, Bowling Green, Kentucky. And we're glad you're listening to us. And hey, man, we're just talking about a lot of fun stuff. But this is the J&K Used Auto section. J&K Used Cars here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, out on the bypass. They're a family-owned and operated business, just like we are, and it's always great to go out there. They've got some great deals on that lot, and I highly suggest you go check them out. They've been in business for decades.
They got anything you're looking for, cars, trucks, SUVs. They've been in business a long time. They know a lot about cars, and they're not selling junk down there, y'all. They got it going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, man, the Hunter games are going to be cool. I hope that I'm not having to work too hard, that I can shoot it, because for the first time on the archery side, I'm kind of match directing the archery side and design the stages, and I love to hunt deer and all animals, elk and bears and everything else with the bow, and it's gonna test your skills. I mean, you're gonna have to shoot on the clock and do some things. It's gonna be really neat to see even the rifle side of it, because it is a true test of skill to do it and from a hunting perspective, and there's not any matches out there that do that.
No, and just getting into so many different scenarios, different ways you have to actually, the animals are where they are, and you get put in scenarios from blinds to having to use shooting sticks to trees to all kind of high angle stuff, and it's going to be a really good challenge on the rifle side, and then the archery side is going to be not many times, and I think it's going to be really good practice, because a lot of times you have to take a shot quicker than you think. That big buck comes in or that bull comes in, and you may not be totally ready. So
you're never going to be ready. I mean, the things being hunting being canned is a myth. It's a different situation everywhere you go, and why not see more situations?
And I think that being on the clock is going to make that truly an adrenaline rush, just like you would experience in the field, and have to really make some decisions and try to take the most accurate shot with the best data that you have at that point in time. But at the end of the day, you got to pull the trigger at some point.
And what a great learning spot for kids. I mean, the youth shooters. I mean, coming in and being able to, the hardest thing about hunting with the kids, and we've been doing it for a while now, is learning the shot placement and learning things like that, and having the stress. The kids think this deer is going to walk out and stand still for them, and having that a little bit of stress added to them will really teach them how to be great shooters, and they can shoot the hunter classes 2 targets per stage. They got to pick the right targets. They can't shoot the doe. They're going to have to shoot the big buck, or maybe it's a management stage. They may have to shoot the doe and pass up on a buck, but it's going to be cool, and it's going to be real hunting scenarios. And which brings us to the next point. There's real deer at Rockcastle Shooting Center. We have a beautiful 2,000-acre property, and for the first time ever, we're allowing people to come in and pay to hunt at Rockcastle. There's a lot of places, the lodge, if you've not been to the lodge, it's always felt like a hunting lodge to me, mm-hmm. Right? And we have our own deer camp, and we bring the kids in, we build a fire outside, and you're staying right there, getting up, going right in the field, and basically for $500 a day, let's call it what it is. If you want to hunt for 2 days, come on in and hunt for 2 days. If you want to hunt for 4 or 5 or 7 or the season, book you a week and come in and hunt, rooms and food included, and maybe some practice time on the range, because we got a lot of range without deer, but not very many of them.
Yeah, so one of the things we've been very lucky and we're blessed with is we border our 2,000 acres, borders a 3,000-acre national park. So we have incredible whitetail, predator, and turkey hunting. And, we've been lucky enough. We donate a lot of hunts to Wounded Warrior organizations. We bring in some VIPs and do some different things. But it's mostly been family and friends. But we're going to open that up for the first time, get the whole lodge experience, get to stay there. You can do some target shooting in the middle of the day when you really, aren't out in a blind or in a stand. But we've got some big deer. I mean, we were harvesting 160-inch deer there year in and year out, and we've got some monsters on.
We've been really trying to manage it, and right now we got great deer showing up on camera, and you're gonna have a good shot at a 150+ buck any day you go out shooting, and that's where it starts, is the 150, for the trophies. And even at that, we'll probably let you kill a doe or two if you want. So
Absolutely.
you
And
got plenty of those.
And big shout out to our sponsor, Swagger Bipods. They're a perfect hunting bipod, but they also own Big and J. And we've got Big and J mineral blocks and feed blocks out there on the property. We got a bunch of cameras out, and man, we got just those deer annihilate the Big J blocks. And, I mean, they're coming in there and
we
they're
can't
wiping
keep
them
it
out
out fast enough. I mean, every time you can go back and check a camera 3 days after you put the block out, the block's gone. They're eating it like crazy, and we're constantly maintaining and maintaining our setups and moving them around to where the deer are. And we like to hunt, but we also like to see other people be successful at our game.
Absolutely. So we're going to have an early season velvet hunt. Archery season goes in, I think, September 6th this year, September 7th, actually. Yeah. That's when you can open up. We still have some spots open for that. That in Kentucky,
we don't have unlimited spots either.
No, we don't.
We're very limited. We're only doing like 4 more archery spots, I think, and about 7 different, about 7 more rifle hunts.
Yeah,
so
rifle
total.
and muzzleloader and that kind of thing. So, but the cool thing about Kentucky early season is that they're still in bachelor groups typically. They're still in velvet typically. My son Grant has killed a monster full velvet buck just in pristine condition the last couple of years in a row. So it's not many places in the country where you can get that archery season and really get a chance to take a high quality trophy deer in velvet.
And the bachelor groups is cool on the velvet hunts because every time he's killed one of those giants, there's 3 more big bucks with him, and it's almost like the carnivore hunter games, man. You gotta, oh gosh, which one do you shoot? It's pretty cool.
Exactly. So you can check us out on Facebook, Rockcastle Shooting Center Facebook page. We've got some details there. But it's time to book your hunt and do that. And then, talking about some of the other things we're doing, we got the Hunter Games coming up September 20, 21, 22. Get in there and check that out. We got the Rockcastle Pro-Am 3-Gun Championships August 17, 18, 19.
Best shooters in the world,
Best
folks.
shooters in the world. We're going to have a bunch of TV crews there, a bunch of different people. So come check that out. And then, we go on with A Girl and a Gun in October. We've got the HAVA Honored American Veterans of Field in September. Along with the Hunter Games and, of course, the Blue Ridge Mountain 3-Gun Championship.
Yeah, registration will be up for the HAVA event by Friday. So if you are stationed or a veteran from Fort Campbell or Fort Knox, that's what the HAVA Games is, the HAVA Family Fun Day is there for. It's for you guys, and it's free. It's totally free. You get a bunch of swag. You just shoot guns and ammo for free. There's babysitters for the kids. It's a pretty cool event. If you go to HAVAHonoredAmericanVeteransField.com, they'll have it up by Friday, they told me, so you can register.
All right, it's a wrap on the ESPN Rockcastle Gun Show, and we'll be back next week, and we'll talk to you then.